Hi guys and welcome to Whisky Geek. I'm the geek, this is the whiskey, and today I've dragged my brother in for a blind tasting. So I've tried my hardest to drag you into my whiskey obsession. It kind of started around my stag do where we went down to Penderyn. We had this filthy whiskey from Aldi. I think it was literally called Firewater, and between the two of us we really got punished with that.
Yeah.
It was a rough weekend. Then you went to a bar called Mackenzie's in Liverpool with a mate, and you came across Monkey Shoulder.
Yeah, drank that with lemonade and ice. You were not happy with that, were you?
But it's a fantastic entry whiskey, and that was the first whiskey that you really settled into enjoying Scotch. So it served its purpose.
Yeah.
Then when me and Joe moved into this house, you bought us a housewarming gift of this Cardew. We made a very healthy dent in that, and again settled into kind of the fruity, accessible side of Scotch. Then for one of your birthdays, I got you Arbor 10 with some little thistle glasses.
Yeah, that was really tasty. Christmas, I got Highland Park 12 year and a bottle of Glenkeith from my uncle.
And the Highland Park kind of acted as your entry into peated whiskies. I tried to inflict a Lagavulin 16, I think, on you a little bit before then, and you weren't a massive fan.
No.
But the Highland Park 12 you could settle with, and have you finished that bottle already?
Yeah, I actually have.
So as I've dragged you along this whiskey journey, you've kind of tried to meet me halfway and join in the geekiness that I relish. So you've always been trying to assess the whiskey and pick out flavours with me. And as part of that education, as part of that journey, what we're going to do today is a blind tasting of 4 whiskies. Going to pull Jo in again, she'll pour 4 whiskies for us, we won't have a clue where they're from, and what we're really concerned with here is trying to pick out the flavours just on a high level, but fundamentally what we really care about is which ones do we like? Which ones do we like the most, and which ones maybe don't we like?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so standard rules for our blind pours. You can pick from any whiskey which is an open bottle, avoid the ones that are still in their cartons. So start with a lighter whiskey on A, something down that end, and work your way up towards D, something down that end. Now, because Dan has finished a bottle of Highland Park 12, I'm happy for you to drop a nice peaty one in there, if you want to. So we've got our 4 whiskies, A's on this end, this should be the lighter end, working our way up to D, which should be the heavier end. I guess we should get stuck in.
Oh.
So what kind of flavours are you getting?
Very sweet honey. I circled dried fruit because it kind of reminds me of raisins. It's really fresh as well, so I circled floral.
Okay, yeah, we're getting some very similar flavours there. I 100% agree on the honey, that's prominent. I get a lot of kind of butterscotch as well. Then a citrusy tone, you've gone dried fruit, I can see that. I'm seeing it as a little bit sharper, a little bit more citrusy. And then I've put grassy, you've put floral. Similar tones. Quite inviting though.
That smells so good.
A couple of deep breaths, clear the nasal passage.
Smell that water. Getting some watery tones.
Ready for B?
Yeah.
So what do you reckon to that one?
Found it quite sweet, but in a different way. It was more of a desserty sweet, almost quite creamy. Well, I've circled spice as well, but it's kind of because it reminds me of a cinnamon type
Okay.
smell.
We're getting a little bit, I think there's a similar theme, but a little bit divergent here. So I've gone more for kind of a coconut milk. You've got creamy and caramel. I've got a little bit more kind of fleshy coconut, milky tone, a bit of minerality in there. Not quite metallic, but more like stone It's quite subtle. Then some vinous white grape.
Oh yeah, actually. It does smell a bit like wine, doesn't it? It smells.
Yeah. I've got vinous wine, white grapes, and I've put down like a pepper prickle. It's kind of black pepper to me, but it's reasonably strong alcohol. It does have a bit of bite on the nostrils.
Very pleasant again.
I feel like that one's more of a whiskey drinker's whiskey though. That A is quite accessible and friendly. B has a little bit more to explore, but a little bit harsher. C. I kind of went down the rabbit hole on this one and got stuck on a particular train of thought. Again, we've got some similar themes. I think you've gone metallic, I've gone briny, you've gone citrus, I've gone white grape again, kind of eucalyptus, and then we've both got a cereally tone. I think there's quite a lot to that one.
Yeah.
It's subtle, it's kind of muted, but there's a lot of depth to explore. Little tones, little things playing around. D?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get past that.
Come on, explain to the good people what it is you need to get past.
All I'm getting right now is peat.
But explore the peat. What kind of peat is it? So, what's your thoughts on that beast?
I've circled smoky because it kind of reminded me of like a barbecue, and then musty.
I went with damp wood on the same tone. It's like a dunnage warehouse where they store the barrels.
It's like quite a thick smell.
I want to uncover some depths with you on this one. When you go in, explore the smoke a little bit. So you're saying it reminds you of barbecue. Think like hickory smoked meats. Can you pick up a meaty tone to it? How about seaweed?
Yeah. Yeah.
So on the nose, what's your preference, do you reckon?
Oh, I'd probably say my favourite is B. I really enjoyed smelling that. A was very sweet. It was quite pleasant to smell, but I think I preferred C and then A and finally D, just because I haven't drank enough peaty whiskey.
And this is quite a peaty whiskey. That's quite interesting. I like that you're enjoying B because there's some complexity in there. It's not just it's not an easy sipper. That one's a bit of effort, but it's rewarding. So for me, it's probably D first, A and B on about the same level, but for different reasons, and then C trailing because it just seems a little bit muted, a little bit too quiet for me.
Seems fair.
Palate?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
That's not as smooth as I thought it would be. It smells so lovely, but it goes down rather prickly.
So for me, I'm getting still those honey and butterscotch tones, but it's got this really odd, savoury, kind of like glue paste type tone to it.
Just what you want from a whiskey.
It's enjoyable, it's just a little bit odd. So that's not what the nose would suggest. It's a little bit harsher, a little bit more coarse.
For me, it's just way harsher than I would have liked.
Cleanse our palates and go on to B. Tastes like refill hogshead, independently bottled. A bit resinous wood, a thick mouthfeel, kind of buttery, kind of oily. And then a kind of peppery capsicum heat.
Yeah.
Do you say that one fulfills what it gave you on the nose? That one leaves you satisfied?
Yeah, I really like that one.
See?
Yeah. It's got really sweet taste when it enters your mouth, and then it's mellows out.
Do you find a hit of pepper, like a spike of pepper?
But it does hit you halfway through, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's really sudden, it's really abrupt. Are you ready for D? I'm just going to watch you.
Oh, I just remembered what this one was. My wife's not going to let me kiss her after this.
Sorry, Lydia. It's softer on the palate than you were expecting, isn't it?
That's a lot, yeah, that's a lot nicer than I thought it would be. It reminds me of like a little bit of like barbecue sauce, but like hickory barbecue sauce.
This drags me straight to going to Hickory's in town, standing in the little foyer in front of the barbecue bar, that little char grill section, where you've got sulphury smoke along with like sticky barbecue meats.
I can see where you get that. It tastes good.
It's a little bit briny, a little bit seaweed, musty woods.
It's quite sweet.
Yeah.
Like when it first enters your mouth, I think. I'm actually even going to say this was probably my second favourite. It was very tasty.
Progress!
I love this one on the nose. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm really a fan. But yeah, I think it's still pretty good on the taste.
If I'm right about my prediction of that one, I'll do something special and I'll open a limited edition bottle.
Ooh.
And
On which one, sorry? B. I love whiskey.
Alright, so overall, what's your rankings?
My most favourite was C. My second favourite was B. And surprisingly, my third favourite was the peaty one, D.
Progress!
Because I just really did not like the taste of A at all.
For me, I absolutely loved this peat bomb. Fantastic whiskey. Then I enjoyed B. It was quite a proud, quite a bold flavour. Then A, and finally C. C for me was just a little bit too flat. Right, Joe's here to do the big reveal. What was A?
Crown Royal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, A was the Crown Royal, which is known for being fairly soft and sweet. Oddly, we didn't like it on the palate because it was harsh and a bit funky. Okay, and what was B?
B was the Old Particular Glengoyne 12-year-old.
Ah, I was out by a few years, but it's still a Glengoyne single cask. A good one. Okay, and what was C?
C was the Clinleash 14-year-old.
Okay, that one surprised me a little bit. Not what I thought it was, but a similar kind of profile. I've only opened this bottle quite recently, so it's still breathing and kind of characterising. And finally, D.
Was Lagavulin 16.
Is that the one that you poured?
That's the one that around Christmas time you said tastes like soil.
Progress.
There we go. Whiskey education. You ready for peat now?
Apparently so.
So I didn't quite hit the mark with this one, which means you don't get super special whiskey. But we can open a fairly special one if you want.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So this is the Glengoyne cask strength. This is the one I picked up in the distillery a few months back. It's got a lovely buttery, biscuity profile. But this is quite possibly your first cask strength. Let's finish with some notes on this celebratory Glengoyne. So rich, crazy depth of flavour, smooth, outrageously warming. I love it.
I love this whiskey. It's like an orgasm in my mouth. There, I said it.
To the ones we love,
To the ones we've lost.
and to the ones we're yet to meet. Sláinte.
Sláinte. Favourite was actually the D. My third favourite is the D.